It's a long wait for the next NFL season, but free agency is here to keep us excited. Hold up, wait a minute. I'm pausing the video so I can put my 2 cents in it. We just want to let you know about our friggin' awesome giveaway at the end of the month, where we'll be giving away $500 cash, not to 1, not to 2, but 3 lucky subscribers. Why? Because we like you. And we want to thank you, the fans of TPS, for making all of this possible. So what do you have to do? Well, to enter the contest, all you need to do is subscribe and then have your notifications on. And you've got to be a regular commenter throughout the month. So smash that bell, like our videos, and comment on our videos too. And if you're already subscribed and you have your likes and notifications on, then just like and comment, and you'll be automatically entered into the random draw. So now you know what to do. Good luck to all yins out there. This year's free agency class is filled with big names, but which lucky teams will get their hands on the most coveted players on the open market this offseason? Here's a look at our predictions for where the top 25 free agents will sign. Number 25, Cam Newton, Washington football team. Newton had a forgettable one-year stop with the New England Patriots, and it's clear that both sides need to explore other options. At this stage of his career, Newton needs to be a game manager more than anything else. That's why Washington is a perfect fit for him. He'd reunite with old friend Ron Rivera for starters. Secondly, Newton would have a nice set of weapons in Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin. Washington needs to upgrade at QB, and Newton fits the bill perfectly. Number 24, Corey Davis, Baltimore Ravens. It's imperative for the Ravens to finally supply Lamar Jackson with some true playmaking wideouts. Corey Davis is coming off of a career year in which he notched 65 receptions for 984 yards and 5 touchdowns. His physicality and 6'3", 209-pound frame would make Davis a solid number 1 for Jackson, who is yet to fully develop as a passer. Number 23, T.Y. Hilton, Pittsburgh Steelers. If the Steelers want to keep their rapidly closing championship window open, they'll have to bargain shop in free agency because they don't have a lot of cap space to work with. JUJU Smith-Schuster is likely leaving, but the Steelers can find cheaper options to replace him. One Indianapolis Colts Pro Bowler T.Y. Hilton, who's still a threat to hit 1,000 yards. Hilton's ability to stretch the field would help a Pittsburgh offense that still relies too much on the short passes. If he can be had on a cheap 2- or 3-year deal, the Steelers gotta go for it. Number 22, Hunter Henry, Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have one easy offseason task: supply Tua Tagovailoa with more weapons. Los Angeles Chargers tight end Hunter Henry would check off that box. He's not quite Pro Bowl caliber, but Henry would be a great security blanket on third downs, and he would do plenty of damage in the red zone. He and Devontae Parker would give Tagovailoa a dynamic receiving tandem. 21, Leonard Williams, New York Giants. Williams is coming off of a career year in which he notched 11.5 sacks and 30 quarterback hits. He was arguably the MVP of the Giants' defense, so why in the world would they let him walk? This team isn't short on money. They can easily outbid other parties to retain Williams. 20, YANNICK NGAKOUE. The Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are officially back in win-now mode. They have a superstar quarterback in Justin Herbert and a new head coach in Brandon Staley, who will hopefully help this team hang on to a few leads late in games. But the Chargers' pass rush needs some work, especially if Melvin Ingram walks in free agency. Joey Bosa can't do it alone after all, and YANNICK NGAKOUE, who has 45.5 career sacks in 78 games, will be a grade A compliment. Number 19, Richard Sherman, Las Vegas Raiders. The future Hall of Famer basically confirmed that he'll be leaving the 49ers. That's good enough for the Raiders because they could really use a player of Sherman's caliber. He's not quite an all-pro anymore, but Sherman is still a difference maker, one who could help patch up the Raiders' horrifically awful secondary. John Gruden loves character players, and Sherman's leadership could go a long way in helping the Raiders finally break out in 2021. Number 18, Bud Dupree, Tennessee Titans. The Titans won 11 games in the AFC South in 2020 despite posting just 19 sacks on defense. Just imagine how much better these guys would be if they actually had something even remotely resembling a competent pass rush. The Titans have to upgrade the defensive line in free agency, and Steelers star pass rusher Bud Dupree would do just that. After posting 11.5 sacks in a 2019 breakout campaign, Dupree followed it up with 8 sacks despite missing 5 games in 2020. Dupree is just entering his prime now, and the Titans should be there to see it. Number 17, Joe Thuney, Jacksonville Jaguars. Looks like Belichick will let this guy leave in free agency. And though he may not be the biggest name in the 2021 free agent market, Thuney will be one of the most sought after. Honestly, 20-something teams could seriously pursue Thuney. But the guess here is that Jacksonville outlasts them all. The Jaguars will need him to build a steady offensive line around Trevor Lawrence. Number 16, Brandon SHERRAFF, Philadelphia Eagles. This 4-time Pro Bowler has been a rock on Washington's offensive line since his 2015 rookie year. And now the time has arrived. He's going to get paid what he's worth. Perhaps no team needs him more than the Philadelphia Eagles, who allowed a disgustingly sad 65 sacks last year. With Jason Kelce and Jason Peters possibly gone, the urgency to address the O-line increases in 2021. Jalen Hurts showed some promise as a starter, but he won't take this Philly team anywhere if he's going to be pressured all day. If you're Howie Roseman, this is a simple task. Number 15, JUJU Smith-Schuster, New England Patriots. Cam Newton's one-year stop in Foxborough left a lot to be desired. At the same time, you can't really blame the guy. He had no receiving threats whatsoever, and if the Patriots want to contend in 2021, they ought to find at least 2 playmakers here. We like JUJU Smith-Schuster as a fit for the Patriots. He's only entering his age 25 season, and he'd be a tremendous long-term option for the Pats. His speed and route-running skills would add a whole new element to this offense. Belichick doesn't usually spend crazy dollars on receivers, but this is the time to make an exception. Number 14, Will Fuller V, Green Bay Packers. As you may recall, the Packers were reportedly close to acquiring Fuller at the 2020 trade deadline, but the deal with the Houston Texans was never completed, and now Fuller looks like he's poised to hit the market. Once again, the Packers fell short in the NFC Championship game, strongly because they didn't have a game-changing threat outside of Davante Adams. Well, here's the chance to finally give Aaron Rodgers a number 2 receiver. He'd be the perfect complement to Adams on a team that's built to win now. Number 13, Anthony Harris, Cleveland Browns. Coming off their best season since 1994, the Browns are on the verge of something special. The offense is set and the defensive line, anchored by Myles Garrett, is one of the NFL's best. If the Browns want to seriously challenge the Chiefs and Bills, however, they'll have to upgrade a leaky secondary. Minnesota Vikings ball-hawking safety Anthony Harris should be atop their wish list. Harris is merely average in coverage, but his ability to create turnovers would make him a grade A addition to the Browns. Adding Harris coupled with the improvement of Denzel Ward would suddenly give the Browns a very stellar-looking secondary. Number 12, Marcus Williams, Atlanta Falcons. The New Orleans Saints probably don't have the cap space to retain stud safety Marcus Williams, who's grown into one of the NFL's best since the whole Minneapolis Miracle thing. Williams really does it all. He's solid in coverage and is always a threat to make a play on the ball, based on his 13 career picks and 30 passes defended. The Atlanta Falcons should be motivated to pry Williams away from their arch rivals. Though the franchise looks poised to begin a rebuild, Williams is young and only entering his prime. Number 11, Jameis Winston, New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees is retired, and Sean Payton better convince himself hard that Taysom Hill is a gadget weapon and not an actual starting quarterback. If he can do that, then expect the Saints to retain Jameis Winston. Payton has said a lot of good things about Winston, who once led the NFL in passing yards. If he can cut down on his turnovers, the Saints will have the ideal successor to number 9. Number 10, J.J. Watt, Green Bay Packers. The 3-time Defensive Player of the Year can finally pursue a ring in the final stages of his career. The Packers feel like the perfect fit for Watt. Not only are they arguably the team to beat in the NFC, but Green Bay has a drastic need for pass rushing and run-stopping help. Watt, Preston Smith, and Zadarius Smith would form quite the dynamic trio on that front 7. Watt alone would take this defense to another level, all while playing in his home state in pursuit of a championship. Sounds like the perfect fit to us. Number 9, Aaron Jones, Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have several needs, but that rushing game especially has to be addressed. We don't usually endorse the idea of spending big money on running backs, but Aaron Jones is a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher, and he's proven himself among the league's elite backs. The Steelers could use a guy like him. Adding Jones would bring a new element to this sluggish offense. Number 8, LAVONTE David, Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks won't be taken seriously as contenders until they fix that defense. All-pros Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams can't mask the rest of the issues on this team. That's where Tampa Bay Buccaneers Pro Bowler LAVONTE David comes into play. David just won a Super Bowl ring, and now it's time to cash in on what's likely the final big contract of his career. These Seahawks shouldn't be afraid to go all in on David, one of the game's most underrated defensive stars of the past decade. Just think about how scary he would be alongside a guy like Bobby Wagner. That right there would easily be the best linebacker duo in the NFL today. Number 7, Kenny Golladay, Jacksonville Jaguars. Aside from the offensive line, the Jaguars will also want to upgrade the skill positions, specifically wide receiver. You gotta give Trevor Lawrence as many weapons as possible. Lots of good receivers to choose from in free agency, but we love the idea of Kenny Golladay coming to Duval County. The Detroit Lions star would form a lethal duo with DJ Chark, who's just entering his prime at the age of 24. Number 6, Trent Williams, New York Jets. If the Jets decide to give Sam Darnold another year, they could target Penei Sewell with the number 2 selection. We don't hate that idea, but with Mekhi Becton already in the fold, you don't exactly need another young offensive tackle. A better option might be to sign a proven veteran like Trent Williams, then shop the number 2 pick or use it on another position of need. Yes, Williams is entering his age 33 season, but he still has some good football left. And Darnold or the next Jets quarterback will need all the pass protection they can get. Number 5, SHAQ Barrett, Las Vegas Raiders. Even if the Raiders were to land Sherman, we'd hope Gruden and Mayock don't stop there. The pass rush also needs some beefing up, and SHAQ Barrett would happily supply that. Barrett, now a 2-time Super Bowl champion, has 27.5 sacks over his last 2 seasons. It's time for him to earn his worth, and the Raiders can offer him just that. Barrett and Max Crosby would be a beautiful pass-rushing duo for Gruden to work, and that's exactly what you need to have a chance against Patrick Mahomes. You saw what Barrett did in the Super Bowl, right? Number 4, Justin Simmons, Denver Broncos. The Broncos hope to turn a corner in 2021, but that's not happening if they don't keep Justin Simmons. He's the lone quality defensive back they have. The guy masks a lot of issues on this defense. Simmons played the 2020 season under the $11.44 million franchise tender. Up next, the Broncos got to lock him in long-term. We hope they're smart enough to realize this. Number 3, Allen Robinson, Miami Dolphins. Yes, we already gave the Dolphins Hunter Henry, but why stop there? The more the merrier. Just ask Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. Robinson is one of the league's elite wideouts, even though he's never had an elite quarterback. Could you imagine this Miami offense with him, Tua, Parker, and possibly Henry? That would be downright unfair. Miami has so much to offer: a nice culture under beloved head coach Brian Flores, sunshine, a budding franchise QB, and a lot of money. Yes, Robinson to Miami feels like the perfect match. Number 2, Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Winning the Super Bowl is fun for like a month until you get hit by salary cap issues and have to decide who will stay and who will go. We're guessing that Davis and Barrett priced themselves out of Tampa. That's fine. That means they'll at least have the money to retain Godwin, who has quickly emerged as one of the NFL's best wideouts. Look for the two sides to agree on a long-term deal as they aim to become the first team to repeat in 17 years. And number 1, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones isn't ignorant enough to let this franchise quarterback walk. We saw the Cowboys fall apart after Prescott went down with a brutal season-ending ankle injury in 2020. Before that, Prescott was on pace to throw for over 6,000 yards. In other words, he looked like an MVP in the early stages of the Mike McCarthy era. Not sure what the final contract will be, but Dak is staying in Dallas. No reason to think otherwise. Where do you think the top free agents of 2021 will sign? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do that. Hit that subscribe button down there. If you like that video, then like that video. We'd really appreciate it. And last but not least, don't forget to tune in to TPS every single day for more cool videos. We'll see you.